Well, obviously, it's been a tremendous privilege to have worked again as the Shadow Minister for Police after having been the Minister for Policing, and I've always really enjoyed the work and been appreciative of the support that I've had from the Federation, from the Superintendents Association, from ACPO, but also from all of the individual officers, police authorities, and indeed the specials where we are today. So on a personal level, that's all been great, and so there's mixed feelings with respect to moving on, but obviously pleased to be promoted. But I think there are obvious concerns, real concerns about 16,000 police officers being lost over the next few years, the huge reductions in the numbers of staff. We've made continual reference to the government's 20% cuts, which is simply ridiculous, and you can't actually implement those cuts without impacting on the front line. We've also made reference to the chaos and confusion around the government's reform agenda. They've got a reform agenda but no reform plan. We're sat here in the NPIA, performs many important functions on training, on leadership, and yet the government has no idea what's going to happen to these functions, although they've said that they're going to abolish the NPIA. We've got the introduction of the National Crime Agency, again, very unclear how that's going to work and what's going to happen with that. And then of course we've got the change to police accountability with the introduction of police and crime commissioners, where one individual can hold the Chief Constable to account. And as I've said at the conference today, I cannot believe, whatever the other rights and wrongs about the introduction of police and crime commissioners, cannot believe that that one individual has the unfettered power to sack the Chief Constable. I just think that is astonishing and really flawed and bad legislation which changes the relationship between the governance of the police and the operational independence of Chief Constables. So, as I say, all of those things I think are concerns and worries for me. But I've really enjoyed working with the police and the police family, and hope that maybe at some point to come back to that. But of course, going to the Shadow Secretary of State portfolio in Northern Ireland will obviously be working closely with the police out there. And well, I think obviously, I think the first thing is that I know some people in Northern Ireland obviously want to quickly build up relationships with people there that I don't know, to establish those relationships and to do that as quickly as possible. But as I say, I think the work that I've done in the Home Office will be helpful to the new role that I've got. But certainly I'll be looking forward to hearing what people have to say and learning from all communities, all parts of the community about that. And as I say, also I was a few years ago a government whip with respect to Northern Ireland, so hopefully I can use some of that experience as well. But it's a fantastic privilege, and I look forward to working with all the politicians in Northern Ireland and indeed the communities in Northern Ireland to support the progress that they're making.